Hey everybody, it's Back to Brick. Today, LEGO revealed their latest NASA build. This one is 10360 Shuttle Carrier Aircraft. It's an 18 plus set, come with 2,417 pieces, and it'll cost 230 US dollars, and it'll be available on the 15th of May. This is one of their later reveals. I think is because May the 4th went all the way through May the 5th. And so we only have 10 days prior to this being released. They've done this before, but I don't think if it's this short of time. Now, this is the shuttle carrying aircraft. What that means is it's a modified 747 Boeing aircraft that was now able to carry the space shuttle vehicle, which was used in the space shuttle launches, carrying astronauts to space and so on and so forth. Now, I did not launch them into space. They did use it in a different way in another show, but I'll talk about that in a minute. This isn't the first time LEGO's made an aircraft in a large scale set, but this is the first 747, and it is carrying a smaller version of the space shuttle. We did get a space shuttle build not too long ago. This one is going to be adapted so it can fit on the 747. Now, when you see the aircraft on the top of the 747, they had to lift it up with a crane and put it on top. This one you can just pick up, but there is a difference on the back end of the shuttle. You have to have a cone nozzle. That was for aerodynamics. They would do a cone over the engine pieces, but it doesn't really work with Lego as well. So actually, if you open the payload bay doors, you can put the wheels as well as the rocket engines in there for storage. What is also nice, the 747 does have retractable wheel system where they all come down at the same time. That's pretty cool. So you can keep it displayed on the ground or you can put it on its balancing stand, similar to what we saw with the 747, similar to what we saw with the Concorde. Now, it does have two plaques. It's got NASA's Space Shuttle Orbiter Enterprise and the Boeing Space Carrying Aircraft. That's that's the N505NA, and it had a crew of two pilots and two engineers. It's 195.7 feet long. Max takeoff was 710,000 pounds, and the cruise speed was 250 knots with orbiter loader on the back. Now, it originally came out in 1970, a little bit of the history behind it to carry the Enterprise. This was a test shuttle to see the vortexes created by the shuttle if it was going on for landing. They would release it and it would cruise down for its landing test. It never actually made it to space. And it was originally manufactured by American Airlines. So the first ones actually had that classic silver paint color with the American Airlines stripe down the center. But they sold it to NASA in 1974, which they kept until 2011, the continuation of the space program. Now, it did come with not only the Boeing 747s, but they usually flanked it with F-104s on either side as they were flying in a semi-formation. The reason we had this was not only for the initial testing of the shuttle, but also when the shuttle couldn't land at Kennedy Space Center, what they would do is they go to this giant dry lake bed out near Edwards Air Force Base in California. They'd land and then they'd have to crane lift it up onto the 747 and then they'd fly it back to Kennedy Space Center for the retrofits and different things. And it was definitely interesting because they didn't carry it all the way. They carried it and then they wouldn't land because that's an insane amount of weight to land with. So they'd launch it, kind of do the separation and cruise down for the shuttle to land again. Now, this was used for a TV show, For All Mankind, where they actually had the nuclear powered shuttle launch from it and go into space, but this one was just something to carry with. Now, the build itself looks iconic just like it. It has the different tail fin pieces, which were used for stability on either end of the wing pieces. It has the four main engine systems. It does have the NASA logo with the aircraft number 905. The nose cone, I'd say, of the 747 is a little lackluster. I think they could have done a little more a cleaner job with it. There's still some stud pieces on the side, and it doesn't have the full conical style that we've seen some other amazing builders have done. The wings swept back and actually having the lifted edges works really well. And having the mounting points, which are actually ball joints to connect the shuttle, I think are good, especially for stability, because it's definitely going to hold it on pretty well there. Now, comparing it to the Concorde build, I think the Concorde is extremely well designed, and I think it's probably a little bit better than this, but I've always wanted a 747. This is the old school one, and having the shuttle, people will definitely be modifying this to make a full sky. People will be modifying this to make a commercialized version of it, but I'm not seeing any brand new pieces as of yet for this. It looks like we're going to get a 6x6 tile for that NASA logo on the tail fin. Fingers crossed, stickers and all that. There are the window pieces that do look like they're going to be stickers, and we do have the cockpit section on the 747 that was used in some other aircraft. And the nose piece is pretty standard. And I do enjoy that there's a single crank again, this time just to get the wheels down, similar to what they did with the Concorde. And having it come out at $230, that's 2,417 pieces, I think is a reasonable price. It doesn't have any minifigures, of course, but it does come with their display stand and having two aircraft and going along with the NASA collaborations that they've done for years now. So I think it's going to be something I'm going to pick up. Maybe not on May 15th, but it is for all those legacy lovers of space and the space shuttle era. One day we'll get back to it, but yeah, another shuttle. We always have more shuttles Lego's going to build. So head over to your Lego store, lego.com, on May 15th. And if you really enjoyed the breakdown and a little bit of the history behind this, make sure to like and subscribe to this video so it can be shared with more and more people. So make sure to come back as I continue to do more breakdowns like this. Catch you later.